Hi everybody, hello. It's me, Lesley. I need to talk with my hands today because sadly our other camera is absolutely on strike. So we tried to get both cameras to work this evening and it seemed like it was a fight that we were going to completely lose, so we cut our losses and decided to just have the one camera so at least you guys can enjoy some crafting tonight. Marcy's here. Hi Marcy, how are you doing? And Jasmine is here as well. Hi. Also, happy birthday Jasmine. Yay, happy birthday girl. I hope you've had a chance to do some crafting today. Sarah Louise is here as well. Hello. And Marcy says she's doing well. Ah, fabulous. I missed you guys last week. Sorry I wasn't able to come and play. We had some visitors. It was our first time that we had friends come and stay in our new house, so it was really exciting, and it has been all go. We have climbed mountains, we have eaten out, we have been to the beach, we have done we've done board games, we've done a movie, we've done absolutely all of the things, and I have to say we're exhausted. Sarah Louise says, I thought there was no live tonight and was sad. Well, I couldn't let that happen, could I, Sarah Louise? So I decided that I would come on and have a little bit of crafty fun time with you guys. Not sure I'm going to make it to midnight because last night it was, what, 2:30, Craig, was it? About 2:30 before we crawled into our pit. We were trying to stretch out our holiday fun times as much as possible before our visitors left this morning. Jasmine says, I've crafted today a last minute ask to take part in a release hop tomorrow. Amazing! I love those whenever you have this mad panic. But I know that you'll be able to bosh it out. So guys, you may notice that I have some gelatos over here, which I think we're going to try and make a card with gelatos tonight. And I'm actually going to be using the Just a Note stamp set. Now this is a not yet released stamp set by Heavy Doodle, but we have brought back by popular demand our promotion where you can get this free. So you cannot buy this at the moment. Craig, could you mind bringing me a bottle of water when you have a wee minute, please? You cannot buy this at all, but you can at the moment for a limited time. It'll probably only be till next week some point. We will be giving away this stamp set free with orders over £30, and if you have an order which is over £45, you'll get the stamp and the die. So Sarah Louise, your order today would have had that in there. Dun, dun, dun. So I thought that I would go ahead and play with this stamp set today. If you guys have any other ideas, I'd love you to shout it out as well. Well, thank you very much. Get my bottle of water. Ooh, what's down here? Here we go. Here's a little piece of my paint on card ready to rumble. And then I have some of these as well. So I'm actually going to start with let me think, what shall I do? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is create a panel, if I can catch up, and put it on my card. So these are gelatos. You may or may not know what they are. They look like lipsticks or lip balms. That is absolutely true. And you wind it up in a similar fashion, and then the inside is a soft, kind of like a pastel kind of thing, but it is indeed water soluble. So if I draw a little line down here, you will see that it kind of looks like a crayon, I guess you would call it. It has that kind of crayon edge or a pastel edge, which looks actually really quite fun. So I am just going to draw some stripes on this card for today. And I've picked out some colors that I thought would look well on a background. Now, the great thing about these is that they are actually water soluble. So they kind of turn into a paint. And you can mix the colors as well. So the first things that you can do is just use like your finger and rub it along. It's kind of, well, I guess it's kind of like oily, a bit like what you would expect with a lip balm or a lipstick. Waxy is maybe the term that I need rather than oily. But you get some nice soft edges there, which is pretty cool. Does stain your finger a little bit, but that's fine. Louise says, I've not used my gelatos in forever. Are you going to inspire me, Lesley? Oh, maybe. I have also not used my gelatos in forever, so I am excited to play with them tonight. I actually thought, oh, look, what can I do that is fun and different, but is maybe not going to take forever, because I love colouring in with my Copics, etc. But it does mean that it takes quite a while. We have, oh, what does that say? Miffy ASMR. Hello, Miffy. How are you? Marco, Mega Marco. Hey Becky and Carl, whoever you may be. Are they similar to waxy chalk? Now, I'm not sure what you mean by waxy chalk, but if I was going to describe them, I would definitely say that they are like a waxy chalk. I think sometimes they call them like water-soluble crayons. That also works as well as a term. So I'm just smudging these to get some nice soft colors and edges, I mean. And this one here. Now, like I said, I do think you can mix these. So we'll give that a go in a wee minute as well. Okay, so that is one background which could work. Let's see if I can bring in another color. Let's mix some yellow with a pink to see if I can get sort of a corally color. There we go. Ooh, it came out like an orange. That's fine. Let's go with the darker pink on top. Now, the other way that I've seen these used, which is really cool, is by using a baby wipe. And because the moisture in the baby wipe acts like the water, it reacts in a slightly different way as well. Let me see if I've got a scrap of paper in here. Here we go. And you can color in, kind of smudge it around with the baby wipe. Don't like that quite as much as just using my finger, but you can also use a wet paintbrush, which I shall go grab. And then they become like a paint. You can move the color around quite a bit. And it's good for creating some, especially like aqua type backgrounds. I really like that. That's cool. All right. So here I have a little panel. I'm going to trim this down now to go onto a card blank, I think. Should we go this way or this way? I think I'll go this way tonight. Now I do have a big strip of memo tape here. I wonder if you can guess what I use this for. Any ideas? This is a great way to showcase how much your memo tape is useful, not just in your craft. So I'll explain what this is. I was hanging 2 pictures on the wall, and I wanted 2 picture frames side by side. This was my picture frame here. This is the gap, and this is my picture frame here. So I put them face down onto my table, and I laid out this right on top of them. Actually, I did it this way. So if I had my picture frames like this, I laid it out like this, and I marked the edges of my photo frame, like so. And then where the holes are, I put my little arrows. Can you see? And I did that for the 2 holes on the left frame and 2 holes on the right. And then I held this against the wall with a spirit level to get it nice and straight, and stuck it to the wall, and then nailed in little hanging hooks where the arrows were pointing. There you go. You get to use your hefty memo tape. Not just in the craft room. Jasmine says, I'm currently colouring robots to make 5 new welcome cards for new people join us at work at the end of the month. Awesome. I love the fact that you have chosen the robot cards. That's so cute. So here I have my panel. This actually has stitching at the bottom, but I don't want that stitching. We'll get rid of that. Tally's here. Hey, Tally. Tally, your samples are on their way. Dun, 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 dun. So exciting. Let me see what kind of an edge we want on this. I'll pick out my lovely little borders. I think I might go for a zigzag. We'll cut a zigzag on the top and on the bottom. Tally says she's going to be stalking the postie. Alrighty. And I'm actually just going to grab my ruler to measure this out so that I don't... Oops, don't run away, please. Let's see, what shall we do? I think about here would be perfect. Grab another piece of this. So now I have a very colorful panel. that I can put onto my card. I'm actually going to layer that up, I think, with some black card behind it to make it pop. And I have got some black card that's actually more like a thick paper, and I didn't think that it was sturdy enough to use for actual card. So I thought that what I would do is I would use it for creating the insert panels for my storage pockets for stencils. And when I cut down a piece of paper, I always have a strip left over. And this is one of those strips. So I have been keeping these strips specifically for things like this, where I need some black card. It doesn't need to be a big chunk of it. But we're going to add this onto the back of here. Lovely. Stick that on and trim off the edge. And the same on the bottom. I'll try and eyeball it so it has roughly the same width of chevron at the top and the bottom. All right. So let's stick this to a card, if I have one. And then we'll get a little critter to go on the front. Maybe holding a pen or a pencil. The stripes are good for bookmarks too, just wide enough for your dies. Oh yeah. Perfect. Let's stick this on. We'll get a nice pop of color. Lovely. And let's stamp our little pen. We're gonna have a notebook, we have a pen. Let's see what critter we're gonna have with this. I think the panda would be good because a lot of the black will come through really well. I think what we'll do is we'll add a panda to this one. So let's see, where's my fantastic painters? Here they are. So I'll have that and a little pencil for him to hold. So what did I miss in the last week? You'll need to tell me everything that has happened. What's been the rose and the thorn of your last week? Pipe and I sometimes do this at bedtime. We go, what was your rose of today? What was your thorn? What was the best bit? And then the kind of the worst bit. That's your rose and your thorn. Maybe you could let us know from here. Oh, rose and thorn, rose and thorn. So probably the thorn was the fact that Mark and Haley had to leave, although I feel a bit rude saying that because we had a great week, and as they say, all good things must come to an end. But nevertheless, it was sad. Probably what kind of pulled the heartstrings the most was I woke Piper up this morning and I said to her, I thought I'd come get you straight away because I didn't think you'd want to lie in. I thought you'd want to come and see Mark and Haley for as long a time as possible instead of like sleeping through. And she kind of had a bit of a sniffle and she went, yeah. And I said, right, I'm going to go put the kettle on. I'll be back in a minute, okay? When I came back, she was like full on crying her little heart out. She didn't want Mark and Helen to leave. Poor thing. And then after they did leave, I had to whisk her away to Asda to get some stuff. I was like, oh, come on, let's go get some things. It was more of a distraction technique than anything, to be honest. But it worked, so that's okay. Put some rosy cheeks on this little cutie pie, cutie panda pie. And a little pink nose. You can't see me touching my nose here. There you go. And what should we color this one? Maybe we should color this in color. Shall we go for maybe the yellow color because it's nice and bright. Oh, don't forget the pencil lead. There we go. Quick and easy little panda. Jasmine says lots of reading and crafting for me. Ooh, good. And Tally says house is a mess due to renovations, but I got to go to the zoo today. Oh, that's amazing. It's been so long since I've been to the zoo. So jelly. I bet you that was awesome. Helen says she gets to plan for next time. Yes, we do. We get to plan for the next time Mark and Helen come to stay. We were trying to say to them, oh, did you know that you get a discount if you book your next stay with us before you leave? So I'm afraid they didn't fall for it. But all exciting now. Oh, I almost did that on my other plate. Should probably probably time I replenished my plate, to be honest, but part of me is wondering how much life am I going to get out of that little plate. I think the answer is loads. Loads and loads and loads. So now I have my panda and my pencil. And let's go and grab a die. I think I might go for the Hello Shadow Heavy Cuts. Would work a treat here. If I can find it in my stash. It'll be the last one, no doubt. It was the last one. Typical. I think I'm just going to put it right here. So you're going to cut this in white. And then use black for the hello. So let's give that a go. Candy's here. Hey, Callie. I mean, Candy. Got my Callie and my Callie mixed up. Callie says extra Ranger slubbers. I'm not sure what that came from. Don't be cheeky. Nice. All right. So let's stick this down. It's going to go here. And my little hello right on top. With some Glubert. Perfect. Now let's stick on where has all my scissors gone to? This is probably a Piper question. Miss Piper Oman, where has all my scissors gone to? Of course, she's not here, so she cannot answer said question. Bear with me while I go scissor hunting. I'm sure the amount of scissors I must have in this house. Oh, that's annoying. Let me see if I can do that. I don't want to use my good whiskers, so we shall change strategies. Oh yes, perks for booking early. Yes, that makes sense. Free Ranger slubbers. Yep. We did lots of board gaming and everything. It was really cool. We had so much fun. It's always fun with Mark and Haley around. Ooh, it has occurred to me that this panda has a little bit that you can tuck in the pencil. So we shall definitely go ahead and do that. And I'll just snip off a tiny bit of the end underneath the pencil lead. And just one more thing, two more things actually. A little bit of glue underneath the pencil to hold it down. And I'm going to change directions. Instead of it being a colored pencil, I want it just to be a normal pencil. So I'm going to come in with some gray. There we go. And then it kind of looks like he has drawn this. So that looks cool, I think. And that is pretty much that card done, except I've lost my hello die. Anyone see where it ran away to? Here it is. One card done. But I want to create another card now using these, but I'm just going to use these and some acrylic blocks. So I have my big notebook, I have my pencil, and I have a pen which just fits on there and no more. Jasmine says, don't forget, if you haven't already, we have a fan hop on Instagram where you can start the hop with Jasmine Crafty Makes, and there's 3 prizes up for grabs. So there's 3 winners, and you have till tomorrow night to do the hop. So yes, you should definitely go and do that. That's awesome. Oh, Tally played Eldritch Horror and Betrayal at House of the Hill. We have both of those. Yes, good, but don't start at 11. I concur. They are both really, really good. We played Time Stories. And we also played, what is it called? Unlock. So the Unlock series is a bit like if you have a what is the word? A locked room, like an escape room. That's the word that I'm looking for, an escape room. If you've ever done anything like that before. It's a puzzle game. Okay, so for my next project, I am going to be creating a random background using these stamps. And I'm going to just take one at a time and stamp them out. Jaunty ankles. Becky says, speaking of hops, we need to get together and do some UK giveaways. Yay! That would be awesome. Absolutely. I actually need to replenish some of my phone clips and what are they called? The brush caddies. We need to do in order, to be honest. So I'm taking these 3 stamps and inking them up and repeat stamping them all over the place. think the pencil is my favorite. And I'm turning them all around until I'm happy with the placement, because it's one of those things where you want it to look random. And this is a great way to create that faux pattern paper background look. It's still quite a quick method. Becky says we have a 3-tier brush caddy we're getting ready to release. It all 20 brushes. Now you're talking. Oh yeah. That sounds right up my street. Absolutely. Now we're all going to stalk you so we can get first glance of it. Okay, I think I'm probably got enough. I just need to make sure that my card will fit on it, and I think it probably will. I've managed to pick up some ink here, so I'm probably going to try and avoid that section. I can do so like this. I think that's probably for the best. Or I turn it around like this. That works also. In fact, that works perfectly, so we'll do that. And clean these up a little bit. So let's tape this down and run it through my Gemini machine, and then I'll tidy up my media mat. Oh, I meant to say, in case you're interested, that we've actually gone ahead and ordered some of these big media mats and also the big Windvici station. We had such a big demand for the little ones. I thought, oh, well, I'll just go ahead and buy some of the big ones. See if you guys after that. All right, so now I'm going to have a little look to see if I can find my stitched heart dies. Which must be lurking over here. Oh, actually, Morgan said that she put my dies in order. What a good girl she is. So it must be in here somewhere. Oh wait, maybe they're in. Where are my hearts? think I'm looking in the wrong department. I think maybe they're A5 and not 6x6. Aha! Hiding at the back. So here I have my stitched hearts dies. I'm going to take this one here and use this scratch piece of card to die cut a heart right in the middle, like so. So this is probably actually much easier to do if I had used this side. Oh, I suppose I can just turn over. So I want my heart to go in the middle. And I am going to secure this down with a little bit of tape, top and bottom. Sarah Louise says, oh, I need the big mat. I've only got the small one. Oh, I got you covered, boo. I swear, like, having my craft room in the living room is great up until the point where people come and steal all your stuff. You need a pencil and I don't have one. How can I not have a pencil in a craft room? Absolutely shocking. Let me see. We'll have to go to a coloured pencil perhaps. But that will also suffice. Let's grab a coloured pencil for now. And I will just create an edge on all these items. In fact, instead of colouring them in with Copics, which was my original plan, I'll just go ahead and use my pencils. Why not? Candy says, I don't have it either. It's on my wish list. Borrow the panda's pencil. Oh yeah, that's true. Just tell us. Jasmine said, I had to stop myself buying more heavy dual stuff today, reminding myself of the upcoming release. I moved my birthday money to a different account to save it. Oh, bless you. Well, actually, we were hoping that the new release would be at the end of August, but it might actually be more closer to the start of September because we've placed our orders for all of our supplies. And normally it takes between, well, about 4 weeks normally for everything to arrive. But for stamps, dies, and stencils, for everything, every single factory has come back and said it's our busiest time and everything's taking much longer than normal. I think it's the old Christmas in July rush, even though technically it's August now. No. I'm going to add, I think that might ruin it. I was going to add some lines to this notebook, but I think it might be better without. Let's go for purple in the middle in honor of Jasmine's birthday. And do a little gray here. Make it look like a white one. And then we have another piece of paper here. So what should we go for this paper? Should we go green? I'm sure you can get all sorts of different colors of paper. It seems like yellow paper is yellow line paper seems to be quite popular in America. That's something that we don't really get over here. Candy says, I don't have the small one either. The big one I definitely love better than the small one, but I think if I had the small one only, I'd be happy. But because I have the big one, I definitely think that it's worth the investment to go big. And what should we go? Shall we have a darky blue here, maybe? A blue pen lead. And then we have one more notebook paper. We'll go for orange, why not? Would have gone for a light pink. I don't really have a light pink in this set, sadly. Now there's a little bit over here. So I think I'll go for a dark green, but it's really tiniest amount. Like so. So let's see. It may or may not look like a heart because of the white space. We might need to come in and build in some of that colors. So let's take a look and see what we can see. Oh, it definitely only looks like half a heart at the moment. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll bring in a little bit more color to this middle section. And I'm actually going to see if I have some chalk. I think some chalk would work well for this. A nice subtle addition. Here I have some chalk. And seeing as I didn't have a pink in my color pencils, bring in some pink to this heart. I'm just going to use the little crocodile clip to grab the pom-pom and add some color around this outside edge. Please excuse me blowing on the microphone. I'm trying not to go over too much of the colors I've already colored in, but I do want to bring in that color a little bit. Becky says, you know we don't do anything half-hearted. Absolutely. Right, let's have a little look at this now, see if it's made any difference. Yeah. Still think we could get more definition around that heart. So let's come in with some darker pink as well. Around the edge. I'm pulling out all my old stash today. I might actually just colour this in, all my white space in the middle. Yeah, that's definitely a lot more of a pop now. Absolutely. So where I've colored in my elements with my coloring pencils, I'm now just going to take a little bit of Gamsol to smooth it out. And Gamsol, this is actually not Gamsol, it is a Spectrum Noir pencil blending solution, which pretty much is the same as Gamsol. And it actually will get rid of those, well, scratchy lines, if you know what I mean. It blends all those pencil lines together. Makes it nice and smooth. And I'm using the Heavy Doodle alcohol marker friendly cardstock, so the alcohol works really well on this. And these little guys are just paper blending stumps. They're made out of paper, just like rolled up paper, I guess, but or like paper pulp and then sharpened. And you just sharpen it with a sharpener. I've had them forever and a day. And then about £1 for all of these. I tend to, here I've sharpened one with a knife. I tend to attempt to keep one for each colour. Nice. All right. Now I think I will actually add a little splatter of Copic ink on here. For fun. Now, 2-minute tidy up. Put my hearts away. And I can remove my mask. And I'll come back to that in a little bit. And for my next card, I think I have just about one more card left in me, so I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock. And for this one, I want it to really look like colored pencils coming off the end. So I'm not going to stamp the little eraser on the back, on the bottom, sorry. So let's see how this turns out. Okay, so I have a selection of these here on my card. And I'm going to attempt to color these in like a little rainbow. So, Richard of York gave battle in Ooh, it's a very deep purple. That must be one of my new ones. Vein. Richard of York gave battle in vain. That's how everybody on this side of the pond learns their rainbow colours. Instead of this Roy G. Biv that happens on the other side of the pond. Oops, I almost forgot to put this back. And for this, I'm going to use also the Starry Rainbow dye, I think. Oh no, actually, let's use some clouds. Maybe some clouds. Maybe some flat bottom clouds. Yes, let's do that. Couple of flat bottom clouds. Now this die actually is one that came with the die cutting machine if you don't have it. It's a great little die. Marcy says, good old Roy G. Biv. It's so funny because it like means nothing. Like, can they not even make up some sort of acronym? Roy G. Biv. Let's see if we can figure out an acronym. Really old yogurt. Gross. What's next? Really old yogurt. Gross barf. In vomit. Okay. It's not quite the vibe perhaps that we want for a rainbow. But it was funny. Okay, so I have some little rainbows here. Not rainbows, what are they called? Clouds. And let me let my dog out. There you go, buddy. I was going to emboss it with the Swiss Dots embossing folder. It has just occurred to me that I gave my Swiss Dots embossing folder to someone else. So, do I have one in here? Let me have a look. I do not think I do. I shall have to go to a different plan. I wanted to add a bit of texture to these. Maybe I could use a different one. Hold on. I have another embossing folder here, which was a sample. Let's see if it will work. I think I'll need another. Layer on here. this. This is where it's all going to go to pot. Let me try this and this and this. I think that will work. All right. So we've got little embossed dots on these now. Can you see? So cute. And that was using, actually for me, I used it as the sample for the, I used the sample folder for the dots embossing folder that you get with this. So it's just a slightly different shape. Really old yogurt gone bad in Virginia. Yeah, I like it. Per Virginia. Really old yogurt gone bad in Virginia. You see? I don't see why people couldn't use that instead of Roy G. Biv. Did you guys also have to, at school, make up acronyms or mnemonics to remember the planets? Did you need to do that? We had to do that. And I still remember mine, which is many elephants eat melted jelly sitting under newspapers. I mean, it makes very little sense, but its job was to be memorable. And given the fact that I'm approaching 40, memorable it has been. It has served me well. Many elephants eat melted jelly sitting under newspapers. It's such a crazy little mnemonic, but it worked. Marcy says, we never did that, but wish we did. I forget the other planets, the planets even. There you go. And what actually was quite funny was that I had newspapers as 2 words, because good old Pluto. And then Pluto got ousted. So then I just made it newspapers, 1 word. So, yeah. Awesome. So let me go grab is it the pandas that say you bring color to my life? Yes, you bring color to my world. Let's stamp that down. You bring. And I'm going to go for color with a U. That's just how I roll. course I have to stamp it in color. That's Sauna by Kathy Puller. To My World. And for this, I'm actually going to draw in some rainbow lines using some colored pencils or colored pens. I haven't, not rainbow lines, rain lines. If I can make it work. Let's see if I can. Don't have a red in that. Richard of York gave battle in vain. Oh, my red pen must be somewhere. Ooh, have I got a lighter blue? I do. And this one will come from this little guy. And then green. I do remember never eat shredded wheat, says Sarah Louise. Yep, I remember that one too. I discovered from Piper being at school that they now have lots of other mnemonics for spelling words. So they have big elephants can always understand small elephants. Have you figured that one out? Big elephants can always understand small elephants. Right, guys, emergency situation. I need a red pen. I'm gonna have to dig deeper. Bear with. I'm sure that set had red in it somewhere, but let's see what I can find tucked away. Okay, that might work. This will work. Yay! There we go. Elephants are popular in these mnemonics, absolutely. So big elephants can always understand small elephants is how kids are taught to remember the spelling of the word because. And I think it's a pretty cool thing, to be honest. I think that is a good way to teach them. Except I always try to say big elephants can always understand little elephants. Mostly because I think if you refer to something as big, then I don't think the opposite of big is small. I think the opposite of big is little. Does that make sense? So that's why I always mess that one up. Piper would tell me off. The whole point is that you are spelling the word correctly. So instead of because, it's because, which doesn't quite work. So here we have a nice, clean and simple card. You bring color to my world. And we still have our Hello Panda over here. Let's bring this little guy back now because I think that we can also make this pop a little bit. I'm going to trim off around the edge. Now normally I would actually probably take my skinny frames and trim that down. But my bed is calling my name. So I'm definitely going to need to head off to my beddy bye soon. So let's pop this onto some card. Comments ran away there. I'm going to stick this on here. Like so. And I think maybe the word create would look nice on this. Or we could have the word teacher. What do you think? There's the word create. There's the teacher. Create. I think create would be nice, and we could bring in some of that blueberry bliss color, I think, as well. Make it pop. We'll stick this on here. Using a selection of glue dots, not glue dots, pop dots. There we go, and where's the rest? Create. And what I think I might do actually for this create word afterwards is cover it with some glossy accents or some diamond glaze even. I think I'm a convert over to diamond glaze rather than glossy accents. And in fact, we got some in the store. I don't know if you guys have used diamond glaze. That's the nouveau, I guess, alternative to glossy accents. But I love it. It is less liquid, I will say. No, that's a lie. It is less thick. It is more liquid. So you have to be a little bit more careful with it, I think, that it doesn't run away. But it gives fabulous results. So let's have a play. So this you might see is coming out quite quick. And over here we'll do some other dots as well. And then over here I will draw the word create. I'm actually not really putting any pressure on the bottle at all, whereas with glossy accents I would hurt myself trying to get it out, trying to just squeeze it. But after you get to this stage, I'll definitely take a pokey tool, and you can even see past my big noggin. Maneuver it to the edges of your white card here. If there's too much, scoop a wee bit off. I have a little bit too much on my E here. There we go. I'm trying to get it on a flat surface will help as well. Right, I've managed to get it all of my finger, but that's okay. We'll just wipe that off here. Oh dear. Jasmine says, I like embossing the word dice. Do you mean like adding heat embossing to it? It does give a great finish. Especially if it's like, A metallic one is so good. Right, guys, I'm going to call that done. I'm 10:40, not bad. And I started later than I intended. That means I can't even get in bed before 11. Yay! And I'm happy because I got 3 cards done. I got to play with gelatos. I got to play with some chalks. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm so sorry. I never made it to the mute button in time. Bless me, please. Well, I shall call that a night. Marcy says these look great, and Jasmine says great cards. Thanks, you guys. Don't forget that Jasmine's Happy Doodle fan hop, which, by the way, thank you so much for that. That was amazing. Absolutely incredible, and everybody's projects was phenomenal. So delighted with how that all turned out. You should all be very proud and pleased with yourself. And if you haven't done the hop, you've got till tomorrow night, Jasmine, did you say, to finish it off? So go ahead and take a look at that. And don't forget that you can get your hands on a free Just a Note stamp set by placing an order on the Hefty Doodle store. There's details on there about how you can grab that for free. You might already have it because we did a little freebie when we had our last release. And I hope maybe tonight has inspired you to use it a little bit more. So, good night, my dear friends. I shall see you next week. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.